Hi Beshies! It's officially our second day here in Seoul. And today, we woke up late after getting only around 2 hours of sleep during the flight and exploring Seoul right after landing yesterday. It's already 10 a.m. and the weather is 24 degrees Celsius. And honestly, it feels like the perfect spring weather to start another adventure. And for today's itinerary, we're heading somewhere a little farther from Seoul. We're finally exploring Incheon for the very first time. Most people only recognize Incheon because of the airport, but this city actually has so many underrated attractions, relaxing coastal views, and fun local experiences that makes it worth visiting. So let's start our Incheon adventure. We will ride the subway from Hapjeong Station to Sinderim Station for only 1,550 won or around 64 pesos. The ride was super quick, taking only about 8 minutes. From there, we were supposed to transfer to Line 1 going to Incheon Station, but because it was our first time, we made a small mistake. Instead of riding the Incheon-bound train, we accidentally boarded the one heading to Cheonan Station. We thought we boarded the correct train since both routes were heading to Guru Station first. So yes, our day immediately turned into an unexpected little side quest. We got off at Gasan Digital Complex Station, then went back to Guru Station to ride the correct train. Thankfully, Korean subway system is incredibly organized, efficient, and tourist-friendly, so even if you make mistakes, it is surprisingly easy to navigate your way back. After boarding the correct train, bound for Incheon Station, we spent around 50 minutes enjoying the relaxing ride before arriving at Incheon. Then upon arriving, we headed out through exit 1. And the moment we stepped out of the station, we were instantly welcomed by the vibrant and iconic town of Incheon. Across the station is our first destination, which is Chinatown. This is actually the largest and oldest Chinatown in South Korea, filled with colorful streets, traditional Chinese-inspired architecture, delicious food spots, and nostalgic old town vibes. Since it was already 11:44 a.m., we were extremely hungry. So our first stop was lunch at Sandongjubang. From there, we ordered jjajangmyeon for 8,000 won or 334 pesos, shrimp fried rice for 10,000 won or 417 pesos and 60 cents, mandu for 9,000 won or 375 pesos and 97 cents, and Chinese noodle soup with beef for 12,000 won or 501 pesos. We ordered a total of 39,000 won or around 1,628 pesos and 57 cents. And honestly, the serving were huge and incredibly comforting. The jjajangmyeon tasted rich, savory, and authentically Korean Chinese. Definitely one of the must-try dishes when visiting Incheon Chinatown. Right across the restaurant, we spotted the famous giant staircase called the Emperor's Stairs leading toward Jayu Park. The climb was a little tiring, but the atmosphere felt so peaceful and cinematic. We even spotted a few remaining cherry blossoms, making the area look extra dreamy and romantic. Seeing cherry blossoms for the first time felt so surreal and magical for us. Even though only a few days were blooming, we could already imagine how breathtaking Seoul and Incheon would look during full bloom seasons when the entire city turns pink. Hopefully next time we can visit during full bloom. After exploring for a bit, we walked past the artistic streets of Samgukji Mura Street, heading towards the Wolmido train station. We arrived around 1:30 p.m. hoping to ride the famous C train, but unfortunately, the next available trip was already at 4 p.m. Since we still had evening plans back in Seoul and needed to return before 8 p.m., we had to skip it this time. So instead, we decided to continue the adventure by walking all the way to Wolmido Island. Walking around South Korea honestly doesn't feel that tiring because the weather during this season is perfectly balanced, not too hot and not too cold. From 1:35 p.m. to around 2:15 p.m., we walked for roughly 40 minutes with a short relaxing stop at Wolmido Park. And honestly, the walk was completely worth it because Wolmido felt incredibly lively and nostalgic. This area is famous for its seaside amusement park atmosphere, street food stalls, ocean views, and school old Korean carnival vibes. There were rides everywhere. From the iconic disco pang pang ride often seen in the Korean variety shows, bumper cars, biking rides, kiddie attractions, giant Ferris wheel, and even rides similar to Star Frisbee. The entire island genuinely felt like one huge amusement park beside the sea. One of the most fun experiences there was feeding the seagulls. We had seen these activities in so many Korean travel videos before, so finally trying it ourselves felt extra exciting. We bought shrimp crackers near the bay for only 1,500 won or around 62 pesos, and the seagulls would dramatically fly around waiting to snatch the snacks from your hand mid-air. It honestly felt like such a fun core memory moment. If you ever visit Wolmido, this is definitely an experience you should try at least once. What we really loved about Incheon is how spacious, relaxing, and open everything feels. There are parks, walking areas, entertainment spots, and coastal attractions almost everywhere. Korea truly knows how to create public spaces where both locals and tourists can enjoy peaceful moments with family and friends. After all the walking, we finally rested at Sulbing to try their famous Korean Bingsu. We ordered their strawberry ice cream Bingsu together with Incheon Bingsu for 16,500 won or around 689 pesos, and we added Cafe Americano for 3,900 won or around 162 pesos and 86 cents. A little expensive, but definitely worth trying. Both Bingsu flavors were honestly 10 out of 10 for us. The Enjolmi Bingsu was especially delicious because of the chewy sweet rice cake toppings paired with the soft milky shaved ice. As for the Americano, it's 8 out of 10. It's good but a little too bitter for me. Around 4 p.m., with the weather cooling down to 23 degrees Celsius, we started heading back. Originally, we planned to take the bus, but we missed it and realized the buses in Incheon can be a little difficult to figure out since they have no arrival schedule in Naver Map. So instead of waiting endlessly, we simply decided to walk back to the station again. We walked for another 30 minutes to reach Incheon station. Luckily, our toddler fell asleep. The train ride from Incheon back to Seoul cost around 1,550 won plus an additional of 500 won adjustment fare at single station. The ride took more than an hour, but thankfully we still have enough energy for one final destination. And for the last stop of the day, we headed to the beautiful Yeouido Hangang Park to experience the famous Han River Moonlight Cruise. From single station, we walk around 30 minutes to the park, then another 10 to 15 minutes to the Eland Cruise ticket booth. Yes, you need a lot of energy for walking. We booked this via Klook for 1,196 pesos per adult and 836 pesos for ages 3 to 12 years old. It was much cheaper compared to the walk-in rate of 32,900 won or 1,373 pesos and 84 cents per person. We chose the 8:30 p.m. cruise schedule and finally got our ticket. While waiting, we had a mini convenience store food trip. For us, no Han River experience is complete without noodles. We bought noodles, chicken, sausages, and drink for 22,100 won or 922 pesos and 85 cents. And honestly, eating beside the Han River while feeling the cold spring breeze just feels so comforting. Hot spicy noodles, iced coffee, glowing Seoul skyline, and the relaxing sound of the river, it was the perfect combination. Around 8:15 p.m., we finally boarded at Terminal 2 for our Moonlight cruise. watching Seoul's sparkling city lights reflects beautifully on the Han River. Slowly cruising through the cold night felt incredibly calming and magical. It was honestly one of the most relaxing and unforgettable ways to end such a long but beautiful day in Korea. We did feel a little disappointment because when we arrived at Bangkok Bridge around 9 p.m., we were really expecting to witness the famous Moonlight Rainbow Fountain Show. Unfortunately, the fountain show never started even after we moved farther away from the bridge. The Moonlight Fountain Show normally starts from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. except during July and August, which extends until 9:30 p.m. The performances usually run every 30 minutes with a 20-minute show and a 10-minute break interval in between. Even though we missed it, we can already imagine how breathtaking and romantic it must look while riding the cruise across the glowing rainbow fountains. Hopefully, when you visit Han River, you'll get the chance to experience it because it would definitely make the entire Han River cruise feel even more magical, dazzling, and unforgettable. Although we were slightly disappointed, the peaceful night views of Seoul and the relaxing Han River atmosphere still made the experience memorable in its own way. After the cruise, we rode the bus back to the Airbnb for 1,500 won or around 64 pesos. After a very long and adventure-filled day, we finally ended day 2 with tired feet but very happy hearts. We walked so much today that we even reached more than 23k steps. From exploring the colorful streets of Incheon, trying different food spots, walking along the seasides at Wolmido, up to ending the night beside the beautiful Han River in Seoul, today was definitely exhausting but incredibly worth it. What made this trip even more special was getting to experience a side of Incheon that not many tourists usually get to see. Beyond the airport, we discovered relaxing coastal views, local attractions, peaceful parks, and fun little moments that made the entire journey feel extra memorable. Even though our bodies are completely tired right now, these are exactly the kinds of experiences that make traveling so unforgettable. And this is only day 2. Stay tuned for our next vlog because we still have so many places to explore, food to try, and adventures waiting for us here in Seoul. See you on our next video. Bye bye, beshies!